We're Nicole Amico, full-time travelers currently exploring Central America with our trusty old RAV4 and our adventure dog, Evie. We've been in Mexico and Central America for the past year, and today we're kicking off a brand new adventure.
It is chaos on that ice.
That's so good.
This is so cool.
We've just arrived in El Salvador after a very long drive that started in Belize, and we're feeling those new country jitters that are a sure sign that we're on the brink of something awesome. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to El Salvador. We are so excited today to be exploring El Salvador's capital city, San Salvador, because honestly, this is a city and a country that we never expected to be traveling to. El Salvador has been experiencing some really intense times for the last 50 years. They experienced a civil war followed by really intense gang violence and gang activity here that really made it impossible for tourists to come. So Miko and I just never thought we'd be able to come here. But in 2019, El Salvador elected a brand new president who has put in a lot of new policies, and that has really changed the space here. One of the things he did that is actually really controversial is he arrested around 80,000 suspected gang members, and although it is very controversial from a human rights perspective, it has made this city and this country so much safer to be in, and is actually now considered one of the safest cities in Central America. So we're stoked to be here and be able to share with you guys the transformation that this country and its capital city have gone through. I got sunscreen in my eyeball.
It's a hot day.
It really hurts. Crying.
Crying?
I'm just crying over it.
Ugh.
Alright, let's get coffee.
So to start off any good Nicole Miko sightseeing vlog, we always have to have some good coffee, and we found a coffee shop, and now I am ready for a little bit of caffeine this morning.
Yes.
Coffee. Cheers. ¿Cuántos años vive en San Salvador?
Vivir salvadoreño 36 años.
36 años, wow.
There's a lot of traffic. Yeah, we drove around here yesterday just finding our place to stay. Oh my god, it was just exhausting. I mean, not for me, I was the passenger princess, but for Miko it was exhausting. So it's really nice to sit in the back of an Uber right now.
Driving around Central America, I gotta say it's been really nice to have a car, but for the times when we're in cities, really don't enjoy it. So having the chance to take an Uber has been really, really nice welcome surprise.
And no parking. We don't have to find parking.
And no parking?
I know. It's really nice.
Say bye, Evie. Say bye, say bye.
She got a
Good. Mucho gusto. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. Bye-bye.
Okay, that was easy. We had our Uber drop us off at Cuscatlan Park, which is actually where we're going to be meeting a walking tour, because there is so much for us to learn about El Salvador and San Salvador, the capital here. We really wanted to learn from somebody, so we're doing a walking tour, and as we go through, we'll just share some of the highlights with you guys.
We have arrived very early. There is no walking tour group to be seen.
We'll be here in half an hour, 40 minutes.
But I gotta say, this is a really, really nice park. Huge green space, and it's so quiet.
And it feels so safe.
And it feels so safe.
Yeah, there's a lot of police around, there's a lot of security people.
There are.
But everyone that is out here, there's lots of people jogging and just walking around, getting exercise. We're walking the dogs, kind of hanging out.
It's super pet friendly. There's tons of signs saying that bring your dog and
pick up after them. There's garbages. It's really nice.
Really, really nice park.
So impressed.
There's a water fountain over there.
Yeah, there are water fountains.
This must be the first Central American park that we've seen that has a water fountain.
We were not able to walk freely as we're doing today. There was a point that we were considered the world's capital of motor. When did you arrive to Salvador?
About 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago. All right, so you have been walking around, driving around, so yeah, you can definitely see it. El Salvador has changed. You'll probably get to some Uber drivers and they will say, I don't know that area, or I haven't been there because before it was dangerous for us to get through. So it was like that. My kid, he's 18 years old. He couldn't go not even to the store, to the school, to the gym, not before. Now he can do it.
All right, we have just started our walking tour, and already, I am so excited to be learning more about El Salvador and the transformation that's happened here. Our guide, his name is Dave, and he was telling us that up until the new president became actually mayor of San Salvador. I didn't realize he was mayor before he became president. This place was just so unsafe that our guide, like the local El Salvadorian, he wouldn't come into this park, as an example. He hadn't been here for years and years.
Nobody would come to this park.
Nobody would, because the gangs owned the park, and it was incredibly dangerous to be here. He said it wasn't until he was 40 years old, our guide, that he was even able to like go and explore the volcanoes around El Salvador, which is like the top thing to do in this country. But it was too unsafe for him to do that as a local.
It's so mind-blowing to like listen to the story because it's so real and it's so recent.
So recent.
And the fact that, I was looking at the walking tours and I was wondering, why does this one start at this kind of random park so far away? And then we realized, oh, it's because this park is like so new to so many people.
Yeah.
Before, like, what was it, like 2017 or 2018, nobody came here.
You couldn't come here.
And then Bukele like basically shut the park down for a year, transformed the entire park, reopened it, and made it incredibly safe.
This beautiful family-friendly place with like amenities, and it's just so cool to hear the transformation that this city and this whole country have been through in just a few years.
Basically, we live and we will die eating pupusas. We're slaves of the corn.
Slave of the corn.
Yeah, we're slaves of the corn.
As we are walking around this park, there is this beautiful memorial here with 30,000 names on it. And these are the names of missing and murdered El Salvadorians from the Civil War. And again, Dave, our guide, was just telling us a story about the Civil War. When he was growing up, he was really told that he was going to be recruited at like the age of 12. If him and his family were living here, he would be recruited to partake in the Civil War. And so out of fear for what that would mean for him, his family actually took an entire month to travel from El Salvador all the way through Guatemala and Mexico into the States to keep him safe so that he wouldn't have to fight in the Civil War.
The Civil War is actually why you might find a lot of El Salvadorans around the world. About 3 million people left the country to pursue like better opportunities and safer places. The countries that they most prominently visited after leaving El Salvador, or the most prominently went to after leaving El Salvador, is the United States, Italy, Canada, and Australia. And 3 million people, that's a lot considering that the country is only like 6 million people total. I mean, today anyways. But that is a lot of people that left the country, and I've heard that more people are actually coming back into El Salvador because they've recognized that things are changing for the better. One of the ways that the country is trying to change the culture is by trying to infuse a bit more art into the day-to-day lives of El Salvadorians. So here's an open-air art museum just showing these beautiful paintings that were made by El Salvadorians, and it's just out here in the park for anyone to enjoy. They're so beautiful. To me, I think this is a really cool way to show that the transformation in El Salvador is really a multi-pronged thing. It's not just about safety, but it's also about the ideas and the exposure that people get to have through all different types of walks of life, whether it's in art or science. It's just really cool to see such an active approach by the government.
I'm too scared to come back?
No, actually people are now, after what we have experienced in the last 3 years, they are like, oh, let's come back. Nice. And many of them are returning.
So they believe it. They're like, okay, it's possible.
They're like, okay, this is the time to come.
That's awesome. So cool. Man, there are just so many stories here of families being reunited, and the way that this country has just changed so much in a few years. It like makes me emotional because it's actually gone through so much change in just a span of a couple years, and in such a positive way. Like the stories that we're hearing about the families who are able to be reunited, like children who were sent to like the States because it was so unsafe for them to be here, and now they're like being able to come back as adults and reunite with their families and call El Salvador home again. It is just like heartwarming.
You will see.
Another thing we have learned this morning that I find really interesting is Bukele, the president here, he was originally like approved into office, or what is that word? Elected. He was originally elected with a 52% majority, but in 2024, he was re-elected with like an 84% majority vote, which is obviously staggering and tells you the support that he has here from the local people, which I find really interesting because something that I keep seeing online and in news reports. Wow. Is that some of what he has done is very controversial because there are a lot of human rights concerns going on for the many people that have been arrested, and it's really interesting to hear a local's perspective on that. And it sounds like in general the sort of idea here in El Salvador, for the most part, is that people are like in many ways happy because we have, although like a lot of people have been put to jail, and some of them are innocent and don't really deserve to be there, at the same time, El Salvador has become safe, and so the people here kind of have this mentality that it's almost like a bit of collateral damage so that the whole country can be safe enough to actually live life again. I thought that was a really interesting take on it from someone who obviously lives and breathes this every day.
And I'd also add that there is a bit of a misconception that, you know, the people in jail like are just there for life and there's nobody else looking after them. But there are lots of cases where people go to jail, they're innocent, but they're also then found innocent and then they are released. So there is a kind of a system for making sure that it's only the guilty that stay in jail.
Yeah, well, so I'm not exactly sure that that's a perfect system because it's just like happening on a mass level, but yeah.
There are so many things here that have changed because of Bukele. Like number one, the proper like crossing lanes. Number two, cameras that are always watching everybody and everything. There's like divots on the road to like signal to the visually impaired that the sidewalk is coming up. So all these kind of little things that have been recently added in like just the last few years.
They're looking to change all the chicken buses because Bukele says they have way too much pollution. They're from like the 70s and 80s. So he wants to change all them out for something more environmentally friendly. Like, it's wild. It also sounds wild here right now.
Ah, yes. Regular city vlogging.
What did you say the name is?
It's called jicama.
Oh,
Jicama.
Ah, thank you. I can share with Nico. It's a big one.
Okay, perfect.
Jicama. This is a fruit. Honestly looks like a huge potato chunk.
But it's not a potato.
Oh, it's got salt on it. Oh, it has the consistency of a potato though. It's like starchy. Ooh, I put lemon and salt on it so that it tastes like, oh my god, so good. Look at that.
That's the jicama, this big jicama.
Big. So that turns into this, and apparently it's a fruit, not a vegetable.
This is the new up-and-coming Rosales Hospital. It's under construction, and it's kind of interesting to see at the top of the roof. You can see construction workers in different colors. So there's some construction workers in blue, and they're just kind of regular construction workers. But there's some that are in yellow, and those are actually incarcerated people that are working off their time doing labor outside of the jail. So the people in yellow are actually basically like working for every day that they work outside. Apparently they get a day off their sentence. So that's one of the things that the president is doing, is making sure that he can also taking advantage of the labor from the jails to basically rehabilitate the entire country, including building a brand new hospital, brand new, really high-tech, huge hospital right here in the middle of San Salvador. We're heading through a street market, lots of vendors and shops selling almost anything. This is the actually the largest market here in San Salvador. This is the central market. It stretches about 8 blocks. What's really cool about El Salvador, if you didn't know, is that they use the US dollar as their main form of currency. And in addition to that, they also started adopting Bitcoin as their main form of currency. This Chivo you see behind me here, that's the name of the app or like the program that the government has put out to enable more people to access Bitcoin. And on these kiosks, they help people learn how to get Bitcoin, how to use it, how to pay with it, and how to transfer Bitcoin. So it's really kind of neat. You can see it everywhere across the city.
That man right there makes the best horchata in the town. Oh yes, I can tell you that.
Wow.
Is it sweet?
Yeah, it's sweet. It's really refreshing.
What did you get there?
We got horchata, which we've had before, but in Guatemala. But this is apparently the best in all of the market. It was 35 cents. And it is really good because it's really smooth. Like, it's not gritty. There's like, it just is deliciously refreshing. Remember what horchata is made out of?
Rice.
Rice and cinnamon, I believe. It's good.
I love how it just comes in the bag too.
I know, it's like really typical, you know? Just dangling.
This is so good. This is one of the this is one of the national drinks in El Salvador, the horchata. I didn't really know what to expect when exploring San Salvador, but drinking horchata, going through a busy market, everybody's
Shouting
talking to us. This is the best way to explore San Salvador, I think.
I'm going to pedestrian street.
Yeah. Something that we really wasn't sure about when we decided to visit San Salvador and explore the city is the notion of safety. Because obviously with the history, we were really not sure what to expect.
Yeah.
But this day is absolutely blowing me away.
Yeah.
Look at this place.
So safe.
100%. There's so many people here, and it just seems just like a regular, what is it, Thursday
Afternoon.
People are
just out shopping,
Yeah.
getting drinks, eating out. Like, I feel so incredibly safe.
Yeah.
Since we've been here. And one of the reasons we wanted to do a walking tour was because we wanted to get a feel for the city, right? Especially because we have our camera with us and we didn't want to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like we easily could have come here by ourselves and felt totally good right from the get-go.
When I was doing the research of El Salvador, I remember reading on people's comments about other vloggers in San Salvador, and they were saying that like there's no way you could have been vlogging the city like a couple years ago. But now, the fact that we're able to do this just out in the open in public, walking around with my hand holding a camera extended like this,
It's a testament to the change.
it really, really is. And I'm really excited to be able to share more of this.
Me too.
Because this city is like really impressing me. We have made it to the most central part of the historical center. This is the Captain Gerardo Plaza. There are so many cool buildings here. We have the Metropolitan Cathedral on that side. We have the National Palace on this side. Both of them looking very, very regal. But what we heard is the #1 attraction here in the central part of Central Historical is this building. This brand new building, I think like just a little bit over a year old, is the brand new library of San Salvador.
Yeah.
Biblioteca Nacional del Salvador.
El Salvador.
This is one of like the main initiatives that Bukele had in order to promote reading books.
Yeah.
And
it's like part of the social programming, I think. You know?
Yeah, and
community programming.
And what's really cool is that a lot of people at the beginning, before this building came up, they were like, why do we need a brand new library if we only read like one book a year?
Yeah.
And Bukele said, well, maybe if we have a brand new building,
You'll read more than one
you'll
book a
read
year.
more than one. Yeah, and they did such a great job. This library is meant to look like a wave in the middle, and then the two like large portions on either side, or large structures on either side, is supposed to represent volcanoes.
Which is like very much like El Salvador. There's around 100 volcanoes, they say, here in El Salvador. So it's like the land of volcanoes.
Something that's also really hard to ignore is the fact that there are tons of Christmas decor out, like this giant 30-meter Christmas tree just right behind the statue of Captain Gerardo, I think it is. Christmas is coming up soon.
Yeah,
and
we're filming this right before Christmas.
I heard,
but I know it won't come out till after Christmas.
yeah, I heard this place really, really lights up, so we might pop back here later in the day or at night to see what it looks like with everything like all lit up.
Yeah. So cool to have Evie in this glorious, beautiful plaza and know that she is in her 5th country. I mean, I think as far as dog passports go, 5 countries is pretty good. It's pretty good. What do you think? Oh, where did we go?
Oh, what did you do there?
She's here. She stayed. Hello, 5th country.
Our walking tour is over. Our guide Dave, he was an amazing guide, by the way. He recommended that if we wanted to get some food, we can go to this place, Cuscatlan, and apparently it has some of the best pupuserias in San Salvador. And if you didn't know, pupuseria or pupusas is the national dish of El Salvador. So we are gonna try some for the very first time. Pupusas, perdón.
Wow. Gracias. Oh my God, they're humongous. I don't think I needed 3.
Oh, thank you.
So we are finally gonna try pupusas, which is like the main food here in El Salvador. Like if you don't try pupusas when you come to El Salvador, you basically can't say you've been to El Salvador. So it's essentially either corn or rice, and sometimes flour. Like, I don't know if I want to call this a tortilla. Wow, it is incredibly warm. But it's kind of like a tortilla. And they stuff it inside with honestly pretty much anything you could possibly want. So we got a mix of things. There's carne in here, there's beans and cheese. I don't know what else. Miko got chicharron and cheese, I think. Like, you can stuff them with honestly anything. And we've been told that we absolutely had to try them when we come to El Salvador. They're too hot to try. I need to wait a minute. They're actually too hot to touch. Oh my God, I can't touch it. One of the ones I got is cheese and something called loroco, which I understand is like the edible part of a flower that's grown here. And I think it's a really common ingredient in, gosh, these are hot, pupusas. I'm pretty sure this is it. I wanna like, yeah, you see that? I think it's like cheese and that green stuff. And that green stuff is the loroco. Oh my god, it's so warm. I can hardly touch it. Ooh, that is good. It's so good. I love it. I see why it became a national dish and why so many El Salvadorians eat it like multiple times a day.
That leaf just came in from outside. I'm gonna try the carne. My gosh.
Oh my gosh, there's cheese in the carne?
Cheese, maybe it's the chicharron. I think it's the chicharron con queso. Wow, these are hefty, man. They're heavy. Oh. They're good.
I want to try the frijoles. Is this frijoles?
Yeah.
It's so hot. I really wanted this one. It's just beans and cheese, but that feels like it must be like classic. Ooh. Oh my god. That's so good. Wow. I do not know what they put in their beans here in El Salvador, but it is divine.
So we ordered just 3 pupusas each because we heard that's enough for like a good meal. Honestly, I could probably do with a 4th. The record for the most pupusas consumed in 3 minutes is like 17 or something like that. Cannot imagine downing 17 of these that fast.
So we actually have plans to do a whole food tour here in El Salvador. We're really excited about it. As our guide today from the walking tour, he actually does food tours. So we're gonna go and do a food tour with him really soon as well. So keep an eye out for that video. I think it was honestly so good today. So if you guys are looking for a walking tour or maybe food tour guide in El Salvador, in San Salvador, we'll put his contact details down below in the description and you can check him out for yourself.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, it's windy this morning.
It's windy.
We decided to explore a little bit of a different side of the city this morning. We are actually nearby our Airbnb, which hopefully we'll show you later. But this district is called Zona Rosa.
Yeah.
And this district is very interesting. It's so like new.
It's so new. It's beautiful. We feel incredibly safe here. There's a bunch of big new buildings. That look like businesses. There's lots of restaurants around.
This building behind me, I'm not sure if you can see it because of the lighting. This is like the brand new Google building, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, it's so neat.
Zona Rosa is actually a really popular place for tourists and foreigners to stay in because of the fact that it's so new and modern, and it's also very, very safe.
We know that not every neighborhood in San Salvador is gonna look like this and be this safe feeling, but because we're visitors and we're tourists, we decided to stay in the nice area that we knew we'd feel comfortable in.
We do know that there's a nice mall nearby, and we are desperate again for some coffee because you know it's a brand new morning, it's a brand new day to explore the city.
More coffee.
We need more coffee.
And we wanted to show you around the mall, so let's go there. Such a beautiful mall.
We have found ourselves a coffee shop called Crafters Coffee. We're inside the Bamboo City Mall, which I heard is a really nice mall in Zona Rosa. And I am really excited for my coffee because I can smell it. It smells so good
in here.
But
this is totally like our kind of coffee shop, man.
It really is. The only trouble is that when we were walking through the mall, I think we may have come a little bit too early.
We didn't have a lot of time today to come here, and so we had to come right when it opened. But I think what happened is the mall is open, but most of the stores aren't open. So that's kind of a bummer. I guess we're not actually shopping. Whatever, it is what it is.
We did want to do some shopping. I think Nicole wanted new bathing suits.
Yeah, finally.
For some upcoming water activities.
But I don't think I'm getting one.
I'm not sure. I think we may just be in for a really nice coffee this morning.
Yeah, I think so. So refreshing.
Thank you. Does your head feel better?
Oh my god. Yeah, I have a headache, so the caffeine, I was really hoping it'll help, and this feels like there's a lot of caffeine. This is such a good coffee. El Salvador is also very well known for their coffee, so I'm loving exploring the coffee scene here.
When doing our research about El Salvador, we actually learned a lot about the rise of coffee culture in recent years, just because I think it's just a lot safer for businesses to flourish, and the part of that is the coffee culture and the coffee scene, and also microbreweries are also really popping up recently in San Salvador.
Because San Salvador has like 100 or something volcanoes, like a ton of volcanoes, and it's such a small country. They have a lot of really great soil for agriculture, specifically coffee farming, so that's why I get such awesome coffee here.
Oh my gosh.
It's really good, right?
Oh, it's so good.
So good.
We're never gonna leave Central America. The coffee's just been amazing.
We're gonna have to import all our coffee now. We're gonna be coffee snobs.
Volcano coffee or bust.
Well, that mall was beautiful. I actually loved some of the stores that were in there. I wish we could have actually had some luck with them being open and done a little bit of shopping. But our time at the mall, we grabbed our coffee, and then unfortunately, can you hit the light for me? Thank you. Unfortunately, as we were trying to get some more shots of just some of the stores to show you guys, security approached us and told us that we could not film. So we had to put the camera away, and we couldn't show you guys any more of that. So I guess you're not allowed to film them all. But hopefully you guys got the sense that it is really nice. We have now come back home, and we're gonna grab Evie for our next part of our day. Hi, sweetheart. Look who's here. Look who's here.
Have you been snoozing?
Hi.
Oh my gosh, look, she's been watching chipmunks.
Hi, girl.
Look, she's been watching. She's been watching chipmunks and horses. Is that? What are you
That's
watching?
a good girl. Good
What have you been watching?
girl.
Hey, you've been watching the TV. Oh.
Oh my gosh. Evie, you want to do the Airbnb tour?
And it's done. She's done the tours.
Pretty much it.
So this is our Airbnb in Zona, Rosa. It's actually like a nice Airbnb. I don't think it's like Zona, Rosa quality, but I actually really like it. It's pretty simple. Here's the bed. Here is the extremely loud street that has kept us up already. We have to like put on earplugs to be able to sleep. And this is an even louder washroom.
Yep, it's so loud in here.
We have the living space. We have the nightmare of a closet.
It actually is kind of scary.
I like opened this up expecting it to just be like a couple of shelves, but it's like a torture room.
There's a
It's
light.
like- Is there?
Yeah. Look,
Yeah,
not
this
torture.
is like this is the thing of kids' nightmares.
Yours, it sounds like.
Yeah, maybe. And then we have a small kitchen. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's good for a couple nights stay.
Ready to start her day.
All right, we have made our way back to the Central Historical area. We're back here for a very specific reason. When we were here before, we really wanted to visit a church, Church Rosario, but it was closed when we tried to visit it. So today we're back, hoping to catch it while it's still open to see the inside, because it's supposed to be spectacular. And actually, before the library became the #1 like tourist attraction in the Central Historical area, this church was the #1 tourist attraction. So we really want to see it.
Oh my gosh, second day in a row. Well, here is Iglesia El Rosario. We were told that we have to visit this church because it's so beautiful. The thing is that it's one of those churches that they say really embodies the phrase don't judge a book by its cover, because from the outside it's supposed to look very like bland, which it kind of does.
Yeah.
But the inside is supposed to be so beautiful with stained glass windows and the sun shining in, and it's all these rainbow colors. But I don't think it's in the cards for us.
Gosh. This is so frustrating. Google says that it's open from like the morning until noon, and then again from 2 until 4 or 6 or
o'clock.
something. And we have come within those windows 2 times, and it's been closed both times,
Maybe
even
it's
though
not-
it's supposed to be open.
I mean, maybe this is not the like front entrance, but this seems
No, I
very
think it
front
is.
entrance-y.
Man, what a bummer. Well, that sucks. In other news, this is like the Central Square area right now. It looks so cool. There's a bunch of stuff set up for winter. And so I think that we are gonna come back tonight and at least experience this at night with all the beautiful lights. And I don't know, probably not see the church because it's not open in the evenings. Okay, should we just see these guys then?
All right.
See you then.
Well, future Nicole and Miko here. We realized our mistake. and that the front entrance that we were at isn't actually the front entrance.
No.
Isn't actually the way to get inside the church.
We have to get in from the side. So
Yeah,
we
actually-
have found the way to get in from the side.
You actually go to the right-hand side, and yeah, you find your way inside for only $2 a person.
This place is so beautiful.
So welcome to Rosario Church. We are back in the Centro Plaza, and we are here to take part in as many of the Christmas festivities that are happening tonight, and it is crazy here.
It's so beautiful. I can't remember if we said earlier in the vlog or not, but we're filming this really close to Christmas. I know it'll be out a little bit later, but Christmas is in full swing in San Salvador, man. This is so cool.
Also, welcome to San Salvador at night. I know this is probably one of the nicest parts of the city.
Yeah.
But man, it's so cool to be here. And
Look at this.
check this out. That is a 30-meter tall Christmas tree.
I think it might be the tallest, like, man-made lit up Christmas tree in Central America or something. I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere.
I don't think I've seen a Christmas tree that tall, to be honest.
No, we can see it from like blocks and blocks away.
I thought the tree was like on a building, like a part of like a
top of
building
a
display or something.
No.
But no, that's the tree.
It's like a standalone tree.
This place is awesome.
Oh man. Oh.
Oh, whoa. Did that just fall out of the
Something
sky?
fell from the sky. I think maybe it's this little voice. Yeah. I was like, what the heck? Is this like a LED bug?
Oh, you can go inside the Christmas tree.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Going outside?
Maybe in a little bit. I want to go right in the center. Oh, okay, why not? Let's go inside.
For a second. Why not? We're here. So romantic as I get budged.
I think the best part is just a hallway,
We're just walking through the hall.
and to make the time like last longer, people just stand in the middle and
I like it. Everyone's taking their family photos. With the J-pop.
this is so cool.
I feel like I'm at zoo lights at home,
Yeah.
but there's no snow.
There's no snow. And I'm in a sweater.
Where are we?
I don't know. That was so cool. You know you're in El Salvador when you get the chicken shop advertisement on the Christmas tree.
Perfect. I mean, is it Central America or is it Philippines? Could be either.
Wow. Oh, a perro.
Ooh, hola perro.
I think that's like the first street dog I've seen
we
here.
haven't seen like any street dogs around here. We left Evie at home, by the way. She is so exhausted from all her San Salvador exploring. She's resting.
I just gotta say that exploring other countries during a holiday has got to be one of the most unique experiences Nicole and I have the privilege to experience. I think we've been in we've been in India during Diwali. I think we were at Armenia's Independence Day.
Yeah, we were in Malaysia for Ramadan.
Oh yeah, we're in Malaysia for
Yeah.
Ramadan. So now
Yeah.
we're in El Salvador for Christmas. You know,
Love it.
it's pretty cool to see what other countries do on holidays that we would have at home. Except maybe in
Ramadan.
no Ramadan
Well,
in
not for
Canada.
Nico and I.
Not for Nicole and I in Canada, anyways. Many people still celebrate in Canada. We gotta go, baby.
We gotta go, yeah. They have a skating rink, which is like mind blowing. They made like a frozen skating rink here. It actually looks pretty fun.
But before we skate, we're gonna look for some food. Our guide Dave, during the walking tour, he really wanted to see San Salvador, El Salvador, become like the next Singapore of Central America.
Yeah.
And stuff like this, I feel like
They're on their way.
They're on their way, yeah.
I'm so impressed. It's really hard to believe that like 3 years ago we couldn't even come here.
Yeah.
And now we're like walking around at night. It's Christmas, busy place, like super busy place.
Yeah. And we feel like so safe.
Okay, we managed to have dinner. We found pupusas again, having that twice in this video. And then we found a little station that was making churros. I've never had a churro this way. It was like one big giant churro. She cut it up and then added sugar and chocolate on top of it. Wow. It is so yummy, but it is so greasy. We probably could have shared one of these.
Okay,
I'm
what do you
honest,
think, Adi?
the ice looks like it's melting.
I'm honestly so impressed that the ice can even exist here in this heat.
Yeah,
Also,
that's so true.
we're a couple of Canadians, and
We don't know how.
we have no guarantees that we'll be able to do any better than anybody else here.
No, we are not skaters. Oh my god! It's been a long time since we've been skating.
That El Salvadorian guy is going way faster than us.
Nice. Honestly. Also, like, how's the look? I put a sweater on because I feel like I should be wearing more clothing. So sweater, shorts, and skates. I never ever thought I'd be skating in shorts. Oh my god, I had to duck out of skating early because I got blisters on both feet within about 3 minutes. But Miko seems like he's having a blast.
It is chaos on that ice. There are so many things happening. Tons of people are flying in different directions, and little kids are like scissor cutting in the air. It's crazy out there. That's El Salvador on ice. Well, we hope you guys really enjoyed our first day in El Salvador. It has been amazing. Oh, and we got a whole band here.
We have loved exploring this city and seeing the transformation that it's taken. Like, just the thought that we get to be here when I think 3 years ago we couldn't have visited is mind-blowing, and we're so glad we had the chance to explore.
Yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more videos of us around El Salvador, and make sure you give this video a like if you liked it. I had an amazing time.
Yeah, we've had an awesome time, but there's lots more of El Salvador to explore. Catch you guys.
See you in the next one. Oh,
We should have got one each. Those are so good.
maybe we shouldn't have shared.
I am totally hogging this. I'm sorry. It's so good. It's got to be like 35 degrees today, so this is helpful.